All right, so get ready because today we're going all the way back to 1990 for a deep dive into a track you requested. We're talking You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer.
Oh, yeah, a classic.
You know, it might seem like a simple party anthem on the surface, but trust me, there's a lot more to this song than meets the eye.
There really is. We're going to uncover some really interesting themes woven into this track. It actually reveals a lot about the culture of the early 90s.
Yeah, and we've got your lyrics right here ready to go. So let's unpack what makes You Can't Touch This tick. First things first, that you can't touch this hook. You can't escape it.
It's so catchy.
It is. It's repeated constantly throughout the
Yep.
whole song.
Yep.
And you immediately get this sense of confidence and swagger, almost like a statement of individuality.
Yeah, it is. It's like MC Hammer's putting himself out there,
Yeah.
saying like, hey, this is me. This is my space. You can't touch this, you know? And that feeling is just amplified even more by that beat.
Oh, the beat.
It is impossible not to at least move a little in your seat.
It makes you want to get up and groove,
Ugh.
even if you've got two left feet. But it's not just the music. It's MC Hammer himself. Right from the first lines, he's carefully constructing this image. Super dope homeboy from the Oaktown, fresh new kicks and pants. He's painting this picture of himself as, like, larger than life.
Absolutely. It's all about the image.
Yeah.
And he keeps building this persona throughout the whole song. He's highlighting his style, his talent,
Yeah.
and of course that untouchability. He even says, singers are sweating, so pass him a wipe. Like you can practically see him shining in the spotlight.
Oh, totally. And the bragging in this song, it's not subtle, is it?
No, he owns it.
He does. Music hits me so hard. Thank you for blessing me with a mind to rhyme and two hyped feet. This is a beat you can't touch. And of course, I'm magic on the mic. He's not holding back at all. Do you think all this bragging was unusual for the time? Or was it pretty common?
I mean, bragging in rap was definitely around before MC Hammer came along.
Yeah.
But I think what sets him apart is that energy. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's not arrogant. It comes across as more like celebratory. Like he's inviting everyone to be a part of his success.
It's infectious.
It really is.
You can't help but get swept up in it. But what I find really interesting is how there's these hints of deeper themes woven into what seems like, you know, a very straightforward party anthem. Lines like, go with the flow, or if you can't groove to this, then you probably are dead. It almost suggests something about conformity,
Yeah.
the pressure to fit in, you know? What do you think? Oh, was this like a reflection of the early 90s?
The early 90s were all about fitting in,
Yeah.
especially when it came to things like music and fashion. And then there's that line, dance to this and you're going to get thinner,
Oh, yeah.
which on the surface is kind of playful, but it speaks to a much bigger issue, like the anxieties around body image.
Yeah, that was a big thing back then.
Huge. We're talking Jane Fonda workout videos,
Mm-hmm.
the rise of diet culture.
Right, like this one little line is actually reflecting these huge societal trends. It's really interesting. But You Can't Touch This isn't just about partying and fitting in, though. There's this strong emphasis on hard work, too. Either work hard or you might as well quit, Hammer tells us. He even talks about this grueling world tour, repeating, Hammer, go, Hammer, MC Hammer, yo, Hammer. Like he's showing us his dedication.
Right. It adds a whole other dimension to his persona. He's not just relying on talent. He's putting in the work. And he's reminding us that success takes work, which is a message that still resonates today.
For sure.
And let's be real, that hard work paid off.
Yeah.
This song became a cultural phenomenon.
Absolutely. Everyone knows You Can't Touch This. Even if they weren't around in 1990, it's been woven into the fabric of pop culture. What do you think makes it so enduring?
I think it's those catchy lyrics and that infectious beat. It's a song that just transcends generations. It still gets people moving on the dance floor, no matter their age. But I also think it speaks to something deeper, this feeling of confidence, individuality, and just pure fun. It's all wrapped up in this irresistible package.
And that's just the beginning. We've explored the lyrics, MC Hammer's persona, and even touched on the cultural context of the time. But there's so much more to uncover. So stick with us as we dive even deeper into the fascinating story behind You Can't Touch This.
It's going to be a ride. And one of the things that makes this song so unique is how it blends different musical styles. We can't talk about You Can't Touch This without talking about that sample. It uses Rick James's Super Freak.
Oh, yeah, the sample. That's where things get interesting. I remember hearing Super Freak and being like, wait, I know that. It's like he took something so familiar and transformed it into something totally new.
Exactly. That's what's so genius about it. By sampling Super Freak, which was already a huge hit, MC Hammer immediately taps into that energy, that feeling of pure funk and just uninhibited fun. But he also does something really clever in terms of like bridging genres.
So it's not just about creating a catchy song, it's about bringing different musical worlds together.
Right, think about it. Rick James represented this like raw, edgy funk sound. And by sampling him, MC Hammer creates a link between funk and hip-hop, blending those two worlds in a way that was so fresh and exciting at the
It
time.
was like he was saying, hey, these genres can coexist
Yeah,
and create something amazing.
told it.
And it worked. The song became this crossover hit, appealing to fans of both funk and hip-hop. It's like he expanded the boundaries of what popular music could be.
I think he did. And I think it also paved the way for other artists to experiment with sampling, to pull from different musical influences and create something unique.
So You Can't Touch This wasn't just a hit song. It was a game changer, pushing boundaries, shaping the sound of the 90s. It makes you wonder how music would have evolved if this song hadn't come along.
It's a great question. It's hard to say for sure, but it definitely had a massive impact. But beyond the music itself, MC Hammer also understood the power of his platform. Yeah. The influence he had on his fans.
Oh, for sure. And he didn't shy away from using that influence for good. I remember him being very vocal about staying away from drugs and violence, and he often talked about the importance of education and hard work.
He was a positive role model, especially for young people. He even had that cartoon Hammerman,
Yeah.
which promoted positive values to a younger audience.
Right. It's like he wanted to use his music and his fame to inspire people, which is pretty remarkable.
It is. And in a way, he became a role model for many,
Hmm.
particularly within the Black community. He represented success achieved through talent and dedication, and just a positive attitude.
It's a powerful message, one that I think still resonates today. We see so many artists now using their platform to advocate for change and inspire their fans.
That's true.
It's fascinating to think that MC Hammer was one of the pioneers of that movement. He was more than just a musician. He was a cultural icon who used his voice to make a difference.
Absolutely. And it's a reminder that music can be more than just entertainment. It can be a force for positive change. It can inspire uplift and even challenge the way we think about the world.
So we've got a song that's a party anthem, a cultural phenomenon, a musical game changer, and a platform for positive messages. It's incredible how much is packed into one song.
It really is. It speaks to the power of music to connect with people on so many different levels.
Absolutely.
It can be fun, lighthearted, but it can also carry deeper meaning and spark really important conversations.
And sometimes it can even inspire a whole generation. But we're not done yet. We've explored the lyrics, the music, the cultural impact, but there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to look at. The music video. Get ready, because things are about to get visually iconic. Okay, so we got to talk about the music video for this song. I mean, it's just as iconic as the song itself. Those baggy pants, the dance moves, that warehouse setting.
Pure 90s.
It really is. What do you think makes it so memorable?
Well, it's definitely a product of its time, visually capturing that energy and style of the early 90s. But beyond the surface, I think it's very cleverly constructed to reinforce the song's message.
I like that.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this clever construction.
Well, notice how it starts with MC Hammer and his dancers in these kind of understated, almost military-inspired outfits. It's all very controlled and synchronized. But as the song progresses, that energy builds. The dancing gets more frenetic, the clothes become looser, more colorful. It visually mirrors that feeling of letting loose and just having fun.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's like this visual representation of the song's message, starting with control and restraint, then exploding into this pure energy and freedom.
Right. And the use of space is important too.
Right.
They're dancing in this big empty warehouse, which gives them this incredible sense of freedom, like it's a blank canvas for their creativity.
Yeah, it lets the dance moves take center stage. Speaking of which, we can't forget about those signature MC Hammer moves, the running man, the hammer dance.
Yes, it's the classics.
I bet everyone watching was trying to copy them at home.
Totally. Those moves were everywhere. They added to the overall energy and fun of the video. But what I find really fascinating is how the video manages to be both playful and powerful at the same time.
Yeah, it walks that line perfectly. On one hand, it's pure entertainment, but there's also this deeper message there.
Exactly. It's a celebration of Black excellence, of confidence and swagger. That comes through in the choreography, the fashion, even just the way MC Hammer carries himself. And it resonated with people of all backgrounds.
It transcended cultural boundaries. It spoke to that universal desire to move, express yourself, and just let go. Maybe even for a few minutes feel untouchable.
Totally. It's a reminder that great music videos don't just accompany a song. They elevate it. They give you a visual experience that's just as compelling as the music itself.
Well, we've explored the lyrics, delved into the music and cultural impact.